Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about a decision each of us can make. It's about stopping the cycle of struggle and starting a journey toward the life we're truly meant to live. For too long, too many of us have been conditioned by a poverty mindset. And that mindset, that way of thinking, is what traps us, not just financially, but in spirit, in purpose, in every way. So let's talk about the shift we need to make. The first thing we need to do is to break free from just surviving. Poverty says, get through today. Wealth says, create tomorrow. When we live day to day, only reacting to what life throws at us, we miss the power of vision. Vision is seeing yourself somewhere beyond where you are. Vision is not bound by circumstance. When we start living with vision, we move from being pushed around by life to steering it. Decide today to embrace a vision for your life, one that's bigger than what you see right now. Let's talk about time. Our time is precious, and we have a choice in how we spend it. Too often we choose temporary distractions over permanent growth. Movies, games, social media, they all have their place, but what are we building? The difference between poverty and prosperity is what you feed your mind. Invest in knowledge that multiplies your value. Read, listen to people who expand your thinking and stretch your limits. Feed your mind with what will lift you. Then there's money. Money is a tool, but if we're careless with it, it becomes a chain. Stop spending just to survive the day. Every dollar can be a step on the path out of poverty. Budgeting isn't restriction, it's liberation. Saving isn't withholding, it's planting. Let's learn to put our money where it can grow, so it's not a slave to our needs, but an asset for our future. Discipline with money is the key that unlocks opportunities, resources, and freedom. Look around you. Who are your companions? Surround yourself with people who call you to be better, who challenge your habits and question your excuses. Poverty hangs on because of isolation and circles that accept just enough. Wealth grows through connections, networks, and relationships that elevate you. Find people who make you feel uncomfortable about staying stagnant. It's these people who will help you to rise. Finally, let's talk about you. Too often people get stuck because they believe poverty is their place, that they somehow deserve struggle or lack. That lie is one of poverty's strongest chains. You have to believe in the greatness that's in you today, right now. Don't wait for circumstances to tell you who you are. Declare your worth and commit to a vision. Start seeing yourself as worthy, valuable, capable, and destined for more. My friends, it's time to stop doing what keeps us poor. Poor in mind, poor in spirit, poor in self-belief. The real riches, the true wealth we all seek, start within us. They start in the thoughts we think, the people we connect with, the time we invest, and the vision we declare. Choose today to step out of the shadows and into a life of purpose, a life of discipline, a life where we're not just surviving, we're living, truly living the life we were meant for. Thank you. When you're in survival mode, every day feels like a battle. You wake up and the first thought on your mind is, how am I going to get through today? You focus on what you lack, what's missing, and what you wish you had. Survival keeps you locked in the here and now, looking only at the immediate, scrambling just to keep things together. But here's the truth: if you only live to survive, you'll never thrive. Survival was never meant to be our end, it was meant to be our beginning. Now, I want you to imagine for a moment what it would be like to live from a place of vision, not survival. Vision gives you direction. It's a picture in your mind of something greater than where you are. When you have a vision, you're no longer just trying to make it through another day. You're building something. You're creating a future. Vision lifts your head from what's pressing on you today and shows you what's possible tomorrow. And that's the key possibility. Vision is what pulls you into possibilities that might seem out of reach now, but are waiting to be unlocked by your willingness to pursue them. Without a vision, we can become prisoners to the demands of today. We look around and see limits on our finances, our education, our resources. But vision doesn't see limits, it sees potential. Vision turns every boundary into an invitation to break through. It fuels your spirit and makes you see yourself not as a victim of circumstance, but as someone capable of creating change. Vision gives meaning to the struggle. It makes every challenge part of a purpose, every setback a stepping stone. With vision, you understand that what's hard today isn't there to stop you, it's there to shape you for what's coming. When we live with vision, we stop asking, what can I do to get by, and start asking, what can I do to get ahead? We stop reacting and we start creating. And creating begins in our minds, in the way we choose to see ourselves, not as people waiting for life to improve, but as people with the power to improve it ourselves. Vision is a blueprint, a master plan. It's what drives every action, every decision, because you're no longer just thinking about surviving today, you're building a future worth fighting for. Now, vision requires faith. You don't need faith to survive. Survival just requires endurance. But vision asks you to believe in something you can't yet see. It calls you to take steps toward a goal that others might doubt, to keep moving forward when there's no evidence of success. Vision is about walking into what's unknown and believing you have what it takes to bring it to life. And that's not easy, but it's necessary if you want to rise above the limitations of survival and create a life that's truly extraordinary. So let go of the mindset that says you're bound by what's in front of you today. Stop focusing only on survival and lift your eyes to the future you're capable of creating. Let vision pull you forward, inspire your steps, and fuel the actions that will lead you to a life far beyond the survival mode. Let vision transform your life into one of purpose, direction, and power. Think about how many hours a day most of us spend being entertained watching TV, scrolling on our phones, going through social media, getting lost in the lives and stories of others. Now, entertainment has its place. It can help us unwind, give us a laugh, and ease the pressures of the day. But here's the truth: if all we're doing is being entertained, we're missing out on the opportunity to be educated, to be elevated, to be transformed. What we choose to invest our time in directly shapes who we become. And while entertainment might feel satisfying in the moment, it doesn't equip us with tools for growth or prepare us for what lies ahead. Knowledge, on the other hand, is a treasure that grows with time. It's an investment in yourself that nobody can take away. It has the power to open doors, to build bridges, and to create opportunities you can't even imagine yet. Knowledge is the foundation that every great achievement stands on, and is freely available to anyone willing to seek it. Imagine, instead of spending hours a day on distractions, taking that same time and pouring it into learning a new skill, developing a deeper understanding of the world, reading books that push you beyond your comfort zone and stretching your mind. Every book you read, every skill you master, every time you choose learning over distraction, you're building something within yourself, strengthening your mind, expanding your vision, and increasing your capacity to achieve. When you invest in knowledge, you're not just gaining information, you're gaining power. You're equipping yourself to face challenges, to solve problems, to contribute in ways that matter. Knowledge gives you options and empowers you to make better choices. It's knowledge that can turn a simple idea into an invention, a skill into a career, a dream into a destiny. It's not just about knowing facts, it's about transforming those facts into actions that can change your life and impact the world around you. Think about the people you admire, those who have achieved great things, built lives of purpose, or created lasting change. These people are not just lucky or talented, they're people who valued knowledge, who sought it out, who made it a priority in their lives. They chose to learn, to grow, to push beyond what they knew so they could reach new levels of understanding and influence. Every day we're given a choice. We can stay comfortable, entertained, and unchanged, or we can challenge ourselves to grow, to stretch, to fill our minds with the resources we need to move forward. The difference between a life of survival and a life of impact often comes down to that choice. So invest in knowledge. Build yourself up from the inside out. Because in the end, it's not what you do to pass the time, it's what you do with your time that determines the legacy you'll leave. Let's talk about money. It's something that touches every part of our lives, something we need not just to survive, but to build the future we dream of. And yet, for many, money feels like a struggle, something that slips through our fingers no matter how hard we work or how much we earn. Why is that? It's not about how much we make, it's about what we do with what we make. It's about discipline. Because without discipline, money controls us, but with discipline, we control it. Financial discipline is not about being restrictive or stingy, it's about being wise, intentional, and forward-thinking. When we choose discipline, we're choosing to put a plan in place that goes beyond just making ends meet. Discipline means deciding that every dollar has a purpose, a direction. It means understanding that each choice we make with money is either moving us closer to financial freedom or keeping us trapped in a cycle of dependence. Financial discipline is the bridge between where we are and where we want to go. Too often we fall into the habit of living paycheck to paycheck, thinking only of today's needs, not realizing that this habit keeps us stuck in survival mode. We tell ourselves I'll save or invest once I make more, but more is never enough without discipline. You see, discipline is about learning to manage what you have now, no matter how small, so that you're prepared for what's to come. When we master the little, we're entrusted with more. Imagine taking control of your finances, deciding to set something aside each time you're paid, even if it's just a small amount. With each disciplined choice, you're building a foundation that can support your dreams, a foundation that will hold you steady through the storms of life. Because when unexpected expenses come up, when opportunities appear, you'll be ready. Financial discipline is about creating a future that's not limited by the fears or pressures of the present. Discipline isn't just about saving, it's also about learning to make money work for you. It's about understanding that every dollar can grow. It's about discovering the power of investments, of putting your money in places where it can multiply. Discipline means we don't waste our resources on temporary pleasures that fade, but instead plant seeds that will bear fruit for years to come. And that doesn't mean we deny ourselves enjoyment, but rather we build enjoyment that lasts a life, where money is a tool, not a burden. Some of us have been taught to believe that poverty is inevitable, that struggle is our only option. But with financial discipline, we can break those chains. We can choose to see money differently, not as something to control us, but as something to empower us, something that with the right choices can open doors, create freedom, and leave a legacy. So let's commit to building discipline in our finances. Let's commit to making wise choices, not just for today, but for the life we're building. When we make the choice to live with discipline, we are investing in ourselves, in our families, and in the future we deserve. The people we surround ourselves with have a profound impact on the direction of our lives. Think about it. Every conversation, every interaction, every relationship has the power to either lift us up or hold us back. When we choose to walk with people who are moving forward, people who challenge us, inspire us, and make us want to become better versions of ourselves, we set ourselves up for growth. But if we surround ourselves with people who are content to stay where they are, who accept just enough, as their standard, we risk staying right there with them. Growth-minded people are different. They're not satisfied with yesterday's accomplishments. They're constantly reaching for more, constantly pushing boundaries and stretching beyond the comfort of the present. When you're around these people, something powerful happens. You start to see possibilities you might have overlooked. You begin to think bigger, to dream without limits, to understand that you too can push past obstacles. Growth-minded people remind us that change is possible, that there's more inside of us than we might realize, and that the future is something we can actively shape. But let's be real, growth can be uncomfortable. It challenges us, it stretches us, it demands more from us. That's why so many avoid it. Yet when we have growth-minded people around us, they encourage us to lean into that discomfort. They don't let us settle, they don't allow us to sit in excuses. Instead, they call us higher, hold us accountable, and cheer us on as we reach new heights. Being around these people can be uncomfortable, but it's a necessary discomfort. The kind that propels us forward. Now, finding these people and choosing them intentionally is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. Start seeking out those who are passionate about their dreams, those who have a fire within them to learn, to grow, to improve. You'll notice they're often the ones who celebrate others' success, who see competition as an opportunity to become better, not as a threat. They don't tear down, they build up. And when you find yourself in the presence of people who are always building, you'll find yourself building your own dreams, building your confidence, building a life of purpose. Look around and ask yourself, who in my life is lifting me up? Who is challenging me to become better? And if you find yourself surrounded by people who are stuck, people who are comfortable with good enough, it might be time to seek new connections. Not because you don't care about them, but because you care about your potential. Growth-minded people help you see a bigger picture for your life. They remind you that you're capable of greatness, and they won't let you settle for less. Remember, growth isn't a solo journey, it's a path we take together, strengthened by the people who walk with us. When you choose to surround yourself with those who are driven by growth, you're setting yourself on a path to become everything you're capable of becoming. You're stepping into a future defined not by limitations, but by possibilities. So seek out those people. Stand with them, grow with them, and watch as they help you become the person you were meant to be. As we come to the end of this message, remember that change begins within. Breaking free from limiting habits, investing in our growth, building financial discipline, surrounding ourselves with people who inspire us, and believing in our potential, these are the choices that transform lives. Each of us has the power to rise above our circumstances, to create a future shaped by purpose, vision, and self-belief. So make a decision today to let go of what keeps you small. Embrace the challenges that come with growth and step confidently into the life you are meant to live. Because you are capable, you are worthy, and the future is in your hands.